Court is going to convene any moment. I need to know that you are clear on what you're going to say.
I know what you want me to say.
Carly, we've been over this.
You're not the one being arraigned here. I am. I didn't push Nell. And I'm not crazy. So why the hell should I say otherwise?
I don't want you to go to prison. Not guilty by reason of insanity is, I think, is the best option.
Okay, we are not going to continue this discussion in front of the DA. Sonny, take a seat in the gallery. DA Dawson.
Miss Miller.
I don't appreciate your efforts to delay this arraignment.
Well, I wanted to give the police time to complete their preliminary investigation. We wouldn't want to rush to judgment.
No, we wouldn't.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Horowitz presiding.
Be seated. Docket number SD 032618. The people of the state of New York versus Caroline Lee Corinthos.
Thank you.
You are charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. How do you plead?
Not guilty. By reason of insanity.
Ms. Miller, you're representing Mrs. Corinthos here today?
I am, Your Honor.
Your client seems somewhat hesitant. Does she clearly understand the proceedings?
She does, Your Honor.
Very well. Let's try this again. Mrs. Corinthos, for the 2 counts of attempted murder, how do you plead?
Not guilty by reason of insanity.
Ms. Miller, are you prepared to speak on your client's behalf?
I am, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client has been suffering under severe mental, psychological duress for the last year and a half. Her younger son, Morgan, was brutally murdered. Her father-in-law is currently suffering with Alzheimer's disease, and I am afraid that these stresses have weighed heavily on my client's mental health. She was not in her right mind when Nell Benson tragically fell down the stairs at the
Miss
Quartermaine
Benson was
Mansion.
pushed down those stairs.
Objection.
Sustained. This is not an open forum, Ms. Dawson. You'll get your turn. Ms. Miller?
Your Honor, I request a reasonable bail so that Mrs. Corinthos may return to her husband and begin to heal from this trauma.
Ms. Dawson, now it's your turn.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people request that Mrs. Corinthos be held without bond until trial.
Your Honor, we have already explained the extenuating circumstances. There's absolutely no reason to hold my client without bail.
The Corinthos family is exorbitantly wealthy. Owning your own plane, wealthy. If Mrs. Corinthos is released, there is every reason to believe that Mr. Corinthos will arrange for her to leave the country. It is well within his means to forfeit the bond.
Your Honor, you can't condemn my client because her husband owns his own plane. Mrs. Corinthos has strong, deep ties to this community. Her mother, her brother, her 2 surviving children still live here. She is the co-owner of a thriving business. Carly Corinthos isn't going anywhere.
Let's assume that Mrs. Corinthos is unwell, as Miss Miller claims. It would be irresponsible to release her. Mrs. Corinthos has subjected the victim, Nell Benson, to months of harassment and threats before allegedly trying to kill her by pushing her down a flight of stairs. Miss Benson is pregnant. She and her child are at risk. For their safety, Mrs. Corinthos must remain in custody.